Marv assembly complete.
Hey, what's up guys, Marsleaf here, coming to do the finals of BikeRush's tournament. I'm not actually sure what he's named his tournament. Anyhow, it's going to be a best of 5 between Phoenix, aka Steve Nash, and bike-RUsh+ownz. bike-RUsh+ownz spawning in the top left-hand side of the map, Tiberium Rift, playing as a GDI faction. I do believe this is a random mirror, and he has been given GDI Vanilla, it seems. And it seems like Nash down here gonna also be dealt a GDI faction, getting dealt GDI as well. So perhaps these guys picked GDI, I'm not sure. I'm going to check this here. Maybe it was a GDI mirror, in fact, because you can both see their factions displayed. So yeah, it's just going to be a stock standard eco build, I think, from either of these players, unless bike-RUsh over here decides to go for an Orca Rush, which of course he is known to do. Looks like Phoenix winning out in the scout war here, which is always important because you want to keep your opponent in the dark, especially in this stage of the game. Force out that pitbull, because if you are known to do all kinds of crazy shenanigans like bike and go orcas, then you'll be forced to make that pitbull early on. But bike-RUsh just instead opting for that war factory. Bike going to get the scout into Phoenix's base. He's going to find that Phoenix is just going to play eco in this game, and eco is going to be on the cards for Phoenix. And it seems like he's quite content on anti-scouting bike-RUsh here, which is a very smart plan indeed, because bike-RUsh here will be forced to go for a pitbull unless he is going to breed bike in this game. I mean Phoenix, and go for a harvester. But yeah, bike-RUsh typically expands on one power plant here. Unusual to see him not. Perhaps he has something in mind. Meanwhile, we have Phoenix going to be expanding on that one power plant there, which is of course the meta right now. I personally prefer to do it on 2 unless I'm a nod faction. I feel it's more efficient to go with 2 power plants with GDI. But yeah, just going to be stock standard eco builds from these guys. It is a best of 5, so either one of these guys do have a chance to come back in the next game if they do lose this one. However, you want an advantage in this first game going forward. It's going to give you a big boost in confidence and, more importantly, your morale. So yeah, bunker going to get dug here for Nash, targeting down that power plant, which is always annoying. It's going to force bike-RUsh to repair it, although he could place a silo down. That does cost money though. Phoenix, what is he doing? He is just ecoing as well. No one has actually bothered to touch the blue field in this game. Usually we see harvesters going there in the early game. Perhaps there was a fear of an Orca Rush or something, not entirely certain, but bike-RUsh here just playing as stock standard as you can possibly get. This map is Tiberium Rift. I'm not sure if this was officially the map for the finals of the first game, or these guys agreed upon it. But yeah, a bit of a miss micro here from bike-RUsh+ownz, perhaps feeling a bit of a pressure here. There is $20 on the line, which is not entirely a colossal amount of money, though there is something to play for in this best of 5 series. Phoenix would want to give it his best, I feel. Especially for you, the viewers. We want to see a good game here. It's looking like it will be a good game after all, because these guys just ecoing one harvester at the blue Tiberium field for Phoenix. Going to get a nice load of blue Tiberium. It seems like one half of the field was already cleaned up, possibly by bike-RUsh+ownz. Maybe he had a harvester there. Pitbull's coming in meanwhile for Phoenix. Going to find the harvesters here. bike-RUsh has his idle harvesters here. He needs to get this harvester back to work. All these precious mining time, that is going to be wasted, and this is just going to force bike-RUsh to stop harvesting for a moment, while Phoenix up here is completely... Whoa, that was close. He almost forgot his harvester was going to that Tiberium field there. Phoenix is completely unopposed. He's going to be harvesting without any problem at all. And up here, this foxhole just being a real nuisance, forcing out that watchtower, forcing repairs on the power plant. That foxhole definitely paying off there for Phoenix. Not only that, but he'll also get a nice scout on this war factory. He'll see the predator tanks coming a mile away. How is he going to respond to this? Is he going to go air or double war factory? He's going to go double war factory. I was expecting infantry or air out of Nash here. So it's going to be predator tanks from either one of these guys. Infantry from bike-RUsh. Is he planning to go for that armory, or is he just building it there for some panic rocket squads? Perhaps he is faking this infantry push, hoping that Nash goes for a few APCs. But this is a really poor airfield placement for bike-RUsh+ownz, because this region was recently scouted by Phoenix. Oh, that's a really bad miss micro mistake from Phoenix there. losing a couple of pit bulls, driving straight into those Predator tanks. And he's going to pay dearly with a few of those pit bulls. Pit bulls really something he needs to keep alive. What's BikeRush going for here? Perhaps he's going for an upgrade of some sort. Perhaps that's hard points. It's taking way too long to be stratified, which is only 30 seconds. But maybe he intends to go for Firehawks. Not really sure if Firehawks are the right answer in this game, because if you're planning to bomb stuff like refineries, you can just fence the refinery and 4 Firehawks will not be able to destroy the refinery. So, yeah, we've got Predator tanks. Wow, that's quite a lot of Predator tanks Nash has here. No AP ammo yet, though I can imagine that is on the way for him right now. He's going to be cleaning up all this infantry. And bike-RUsh+ownz, he seems like he's going for that Firehawks right now. He's probably going to go for Mammoth tanks as well, I'd imagine, with that tier 3 up. Phoenix, in the meantime, just completely unopposed here. He has a big army. He also has not expanded. He's getting harassed in the top of the map here. Probably a bit of a mistake sacking those pit bulls there. And bike-RUsh+ownz, and he has 1 MCV. He needs to transfer his harvesters. One of these refineries here could also get sold off for that much needed $500. Though bike-RUsh+ownz is looking really good in the economy side of things. He has a very good harvester to refinery ratio there. He can probably transfer some harvesters over to this field very soon and get up to that 5 and 2 stature on 2 Tiberium fields. Then he'll be looking amazingly well in this game. Orcas, is that an Orca or a Firehawk out? Okay, so Phoenix is going to see this Firehawk here. He has the pitbulls coming into... Oh, this is a really good opportunity for pitbull to find this Firehawk and take it right out of this guy. BikeRush not going to allow that though. BikeRush, is he going for railguns here? One can only assume that this is railguns because we have Predator tanks on the field already. Though there isn't nearly enough Predator tanks in my opinion for the railgun upgrade to be worth it for him, to be honest. Getting that airfield's a good decision as well because BikeRush invested $2,500 in that hardpoints upgrade. His power plants are now in jeopardy as well, though the majority of his power is in his base entrenched. And it seems like this base will get cleaned up here. He wants to watch out that he doesn't lose all these units though, otherwise this attack will definitely not be worth it. Moving into these Predator tanks here, that's not a good idea, Phoenix. You need to move out of that. But he's going to find that there is absolutely no defense down here. There is a few Predator tanks. Oh, he needs to make some good moves here. He's going to waste all of his pitbulls here. BikeRush can absolutely trap him into this base. Phoenix has double ref at his expansion. Phoenix playing amazingly well. I think Phoenix has this game. He's just going to move straight into BikeRush's base. That is good game, I think. The low power is an effect for Bike. Bike has the railguns. Phoenix does not have them, however. Oh, that's a really good shot from the sonic emitter, getting a great line through. Oh my god, he needs to watch out for that sonic emitter. Doing devastating splash damage there, but all this economy damage down now. This is just the killing blow, I think. He can potentially move into this base and kill everything. There is another sonic emitter down for him, but oh, the Predator tanks. I called this way too quickly. Did not see these Predator tanks here. BikeRush going to move into this expansion here. Did not see this at all. BikeRush with a plan B up his sleeve. Going to come in and destroy all the harvesters here. Actually, no, Phoenix has all of his harvesters idle right now. There is no tier 3 for him to speak of, so sonic emitters are not an option for Phoenix in this game. And I think that BikeRush may have held this off. How is Phoenix, however, going to hold off versus this relentless attack of Predator tanks? Not entirely sure. Harvest is going to be in the line of sight of these Predator tanks. They're going to get taken out, and Phoenix here, he is pretty much dry out of Tiberium. BikeRush, on the other hand, he's going to drop his 3rd refinery or his 1st refinery on that expansion, and he will be back up and running as far as his unit production goes. But yeah, every unit that is lost here for Phoenix, he cannot really replace because he just doesn't have the income for it. And BikeRush being as annoying as possible with these Predator tanks. However, I think they are going to get cleaned up eventually. And yeah, especially with the calling of these reinforcements, this game is not over by a long shot. But BikeRush is probably going to be looking better in the long run because he has the railgun upgrade for his railgun equipped units. Saw him build a few zone troopers as well earlier. All Predator tanks coming in the bottom of this map as well. Going to take out this refinery. This is a big, massive blow for Phoenix because later on when this field recovers or replenishes its Tiberium, Phoenix will have to rebuild a refinery there. Assuming the game does go to that length, Phoenix is going to start working on that other refinery. BikeRush here doing the same. He's going to have that 2nd refinery up in no time. And what is Phoenix going to do to get back in this game? He's going to clean up these Predator tanks here. Though to be honest, with the death of that refinery, these Predator tanks of Bike have definitely paid off. He's even going to micro them away as well. So big wins here for BikeRush. Phoenix looked like he was in commanding position, but the sonic emitter shots from BikeRush early on, allowing him to hold off in that engagement and basically prevent him from losing at that point. If I was Phoenix, I would just go in for the crippling blow right now. Does BikeRush have his tier 3 still? He does. He didn't bother to sell it off, which could be all that Bike needs. All the more Predator tanks coming in the top of the map here. Phoenix allowing himself to get picked off in all sides. I am not paying attention to all these little strike forces of BikeRush. But yeah, those Predator tanks are doing massive damage here, as you can see, forcing all these harvesters off the line here. As long as Phoenix orders them back quickly, it's going to be fine for him. But yeah, BikeRush is just going to keep spamming out those railgun Predator tanks. He knows that he has the upgrade advantage, so he's just going to keep spamming out those railguns and capitalizing on every little advantage he can get, or he can find. Blue Tiberium Field, meanwhile, being harvested by Phoenix. Oh, no, wait. Harvester is actually idle here, so Phoenix needs to order that pretty quick, smart. And Phoenix, he's going infantry, which is a really good option, to be honest. I think infantry and Predator tanks mixed in is the only way he can really hold off versus these Predator tanks. But yeah, he needs to stop himself from getting caught out of position the same way that he's been doing so far in this game. He needs to split his forces up and handle Bike in multiple angles. He has the army. He's coming to this base here. BikeRush, we can only imagine, has a sonic emitter queue to deal with that. Meanwhile, BikeRush coming over here with a couple Predator tanks, but Phoenix has seen this a mile away. He should be able to defend his tier 2 from this. He could even fence that tier 2 if it does come under fire. He probably will need it if he's building a tier 3. And yeah, coming up to this base here, going to take out this base. Hammerheads on the cards for BikeRush+ownz. And there is simply not enough infantry here to handle this. BikeRush going to target down those infantry forces first. And yeah, this is looking really bad for Phoenix. He's going for the infantry. I think, in my opinion, GDI infantry do cost effectively beat Hammerheads. In my practice games years ago, I've noticed that GDI infantry tend to fare the best of all infantry versus Hammerhead spam. So this can potentially work well for Phoenix, though this game is certainly heating up really quick. The Hammerheads, though, he needs to find a counter to those. BikeRush+ownz just not allowed to get an army as large as he would like. He's got the Hammerheads here, but Phoenix going to move in with his MCV. He's going to find that his MCV is getting attacked. He needs to fence his MCV. Phoenix, what, you need to fence that MCV, buddy. Oh my god, he's going to lose his MCV, I think. He just didn't have the funds or something. Maybe he was distracted elsewhere, but he's going to lose his MCV. That is not necessary. Unless he has his tier 2. No, he still has his tier 2 still. That was a big mistake there. Not that I don't think it would have mattered, because the Predator tanks here are completely unopposed, so maybe he would have lost it anyway, but just prolonging those Hammerheads for a little longer, he could have bought himself some time to mass up more infantry. But yeah, I think that is GG. Oh no, we got a big army here from Phoenix. Does he have a war factory here to replace his MCV? Yes, he does. He wants to get that MCV out quickly. BikeRush still has those 3 Hammerheads. Needs to watch out, doesn't run into those APCs, because they're going to get some massive damage done to those Hammerheads. That is not good there for BikeRush. BikeRush cleaning up his Tiberium. Where is his MCV? BikeRush deciding to move in with his own MCV as well, perhaps to place down defenses. He just doesn't have any macro based. He has no production. He has literally no production right now. So he only has base defenses to throw down here. This is looking really good for Nash. If he can try and hold this off here, he's looking really good. He needs to get his MCV back out, though. That's the only thing that's hurting him right now. He just doesn't have the production either to make up for the fact that he is in that good spot there. So yeah, BikeRush+ownz only got this 1 war factory. Spamming Preds instead of APCs in this point in the time, probably not good either. It's hard really at this, when you're versus such a vast unit composition of GDI, it can be hard to counter it with your own unless you mix and match like your opponent. BikeRush seeming to spam these zone troopers out of barracks. He should definitely get the upgrades for them, because I've noticed he's been spamming them out of a barracks. They weren't used from a support power, the zone trooper drop pod, nor from a sold off tier 4. That's the only other place you can get zone troopers without training them. But he's going to come down to this base, and Phoenix harvesting here. All the Tiberium is cleaned up, so that refinery death earlier down in the bottom here definitely going to hurt Phoenix a lot. BikeRush+ownz has actually managed to maintain this refinery up in the top, so this is going to help him economically And what is BikeRush? How is Phoenix going to hold off here? He has 2 barracks down, but that's just simply not enough. The APCs are just going to milk these infantry out of the barracks, and that's going to be it, I think. I think this force here is just going to be too much for Phoenix to handle. And Phoenix here, he's moving his army once more. That's not a good idea. And where is BikeRush's MSV? Has he actually bothered to expand with it or something? I doubt he lost it. He's actually... I don't even know where it is. It's all the way down here, so BikeRush... realizing that this Tiberium over here, this is the only other place on the map where there is Tiberium for him to harvest, realizing that, going to throw down a refinery there, and Phoenix has to make a one last stand. He has to do something right the hell now, because he's going to be losing this game pretty quickly if he doesn't push into BikeRush. BikeRush still has that tier 3. He just sold his tier 3. That is a big mistake in my opinion. He needed the sonic emitters. The sonic emitters were definitely needed there to hold versus this. There is not enough infantry to warrant the tower placement here, though it will absorb some fire. Phoenix, he needs more than what he does currently have, but I just don't think he has the numbers, and I think that's going to be it. I don't think he has the army here to defeat Bike from this position. BikeRush is going to throw down a war factory, we can only imagine, to reinforce Predator tanks. And that is going to be GG, I think. Phoenix just has no Tiberium at his disposal. He has his 1 spike still, but that 10 cred a second is not going to make up for the fact that BikeRush is harvesting from this Tiberium field. And yeah, Phoenix deciding to prolong the game, which of course is not a bad idea either, because in a tournament you want to whittle down your opponent so that in the next game you can perhaps find him a lot easier. That's something that Technique done to me. He worn me out in my first games, and then later on I felt really tired. And yeah, this is actually going to be GG. So BikeRush deciding to take a 10-minute break. Of course, these games are live, so I will be back to do the next games. It is 1-0 in favor of BikeRush, and that's going to be it. Phoenix will have the map choice next game, so that is 1 game 0-2 BikeRush+ownz playing as GDI. Phoenix had many opportunities in that game to win that game. A few better decisions here and there, and he could have won it, especially considering how he was ahead economically, getting that airfield early on when BikeRush had already researched the upgrade for his Firehawks. That was a crippling blow. But then subsequently, Phoenix just didn't have units where he needed them. His positioning wasn't on point, and that's how he was losing all of his harvesters and being out of position. So yeah, that is GG, and we'll be going on to the next game after this. Okay, so game 2 on the map Tournament Highlands, with Nash being behind 1-0. He will be looking to win this game. Both of these guys deciding to opt for random once more, with Phoenix over here on the left hand side being dealt Traveler 59, which is a very good faction to have from random. Scrolling over to the right hand side, we can see Bike as a nod faction. Hopefully he's not Black Hand. He is going to be Mock. Okay. Traveler 59 versus Mock. So Mock won't have the flame rushes, which could mean that this descent rush could be more effective, because BikeRush, if he was a nod or Black Hand faction, he would be going for that flame rush probably almost immediately, even hinting at a screen faction from his opponent. So yeah, there's going to be Disintegrators coming out from Phoenix. He's going for a very risky build, 2 groups of Disintegrators, and BikeRush, has he got enough eyes on the map to see it coming? Probably doesn't actually. He's going for a buggy first. He's going for that buggy, but the time the buggy gets to the base, I think it might be a little bit too late. There's a buzzer now coming into the base here. BikeRush knows that there's a buzzer. He could probably sniff out that there is a descent rush coming, especially now because there is awakened squads here, which will kill all of his Disintegrators. Actually, that was really bad for Phoenix. I think Phoenix may have just lost this game here, unless he can do something with these Disintegrators here. But yeah, I don't think BikeRush is seeing these descents coming. He's completely in the dark here. It might be just all over for BikeRush right now. He's going to lose his Disintegrators. Oh, the Harvester, Phoenix, you're just running by the Harvester. You can't just run by the Harvester. He's going to kill the Harvester. 1 Harvester going down. He needs to kill this Harvester. Oh my god. Oh my god. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. No. Yes, he kills it. Oh god, my fucking almost had a heart attack then. 2 Harvesters going down for BikeRush. Wow, he didn't see that coming, did he? But Phoenix did lose 5 Disintegrators for nothing, though. That first attack, that second attack, totally caught BikeRush by surprise. BikeRush maybe had suspected that he was going for another group because he sent a buggy down here, but the only part of the map he didn't have scouted, Phoenix knew, and he sent his distance down there, killing 2 harvesters. That's going to give Phoenix a nice advantage in this game. 3 harvesters for Phoenix. Knowing BikeRush is probably going to all in from this position, because he is slightly behind at the moment. He's probably going for that second war factory. No, he's not doing anything. He's going instead for the 3rd harvester. And Phoenix here, does he know what's going on in bike space right now? He has a buzzer here. This will reveal the fact that the MCV is still around, so huge intel for Phoenix. Going to confirm that BikeRush is not all-inning in this game. He's not going to be overspending here. He's going to be quite comfortable to just eco up here. And bike-RUsh+ownz going to be up to that 4 and 2 position relatively soon. Phoenix, on the other hand, he has his advanced articulator upgrades, so he will be safe and sound versus any potential rush. He's going for a portal, I suspect, right now. This buggy will, though, be able to tell BikeRush all he needs what's going on in Phoenix's base. Phoenix, when he drops his portal down, this could be a telltale sign of what's going on. BikeRush+ownz not using this buggy to scout. Oh, BikeRush+ownz is going to get a very, very nice eye on this portal here. He's going to see this portal coming a mile away. Buggy does get cleaned up, but yeah, this is going to force BikeRush to go for 2 war factories, I think. He's going to go for buggies right now, so yeah, he's not going to get greedy and go for that 6 harvester. He's probably instead going to go for 2 war factory all in, I suspect. Though he can probably safely defend against descents with a few shredder turrets if he wants, but Phoenix not going to overspend on those disintegrators. He knows now that he's been scouted, so he's not going to be too greedy here. He's going to do some slight pressure with BikeRush, try and make BikeRush overspend a little bit. If he gets this bike here, that's going to be a great pickup for Phoenix, but Phoenix could have just gone in there and killed that bike. 1 bike goes down for BikeRush+ownz. Is he going to get the second one? He does. Oh, excellent force firing there by Nash. And wow, this is really, really good trays that he's taking here. And there's disintegrators at the bottom of the map. I don't think BikeRush knows about these. Phoenix, he needs to attack right now. There's a second war factory there. Can Phoenix identify this though? He's going for Seekers, but the drone ship is captured. Oh, that is crippling. That is crippling. I think that is it for Phoenix. If he had not captured that drone, if that drone ship was not captured, he would have been okay. But man, that is devastating. And I think that is a quick 2-0 to BikeRush. There is no way that Phoenix can come back from this. It's not like Blackhand or Nod where you can rebuild your MCV from the Warp Sphere. That is going to be it. The BikeRush+ownz with those MCV captures, you need to be looking out for it in a tournament especially. It's one of the worst ways to lose. Very, very demotivating. Demoralizing, rather. And that is going to be it for Phoenix. That is going to be a 2-0 to BikeRush+ownz. But can you imagine if it weren't for that, it would have been pretty much over for him. Phoenix should have identified that he was not going to lose to anything else but that. Why would BikeRush not surrender or go for an all-in if he was behind? It's because he has an engineer at your drone ship. That's why. So yeah, Phoenix, if you have to take anything away from this game, it's that the drone ship, it got captured by that engineer, and you perhaps should have seen it coming. Disintegrators in the bottom of the map, he has a fair chunk of them here. But there is no MCV cell to speak of for BikeRush+ownz, so he can defend versus endless descents with shredder turrets extremely cost effectively. The buggy's going to get cleaned up here, I think, but no, because that descent nerf that we done in R12 might give the buggies the upper edge in this engagement, and I think that is all she wrote for Phoenix. I think Phoenix is going to go down in this game. It's going to take a miracle basically at this point for Phoenix to recover from this, especially when he has no drone platform. His Tiberium is running out. And BikeRush+ownz is just going to comfortably get further and further ahead with these refineries and harvesters. That is going to be pretty much GG for Phoenix. Though, like he did in the first game, he can prolong the game for a little longer. But yeah, I really hate to see how he lost from that position. He was doing so well as well. He had got 2 of those harvesters in the early game. He looked in a really good spot, killing 2 harvesters of BikeRush+ownz. Fooling BikeRush into thinking that there is no more descents coming, but then attacking him with the disintegrators. But unfortunately, just not keeping an eye out for those sneaky engineers. He really needs to put that in, make it a habit of his to check for engineers, and maybe even send a buzzer up to the top of the map on each and every map versus these players, just so that you don't get caught out of position by those engineers. And yeah, this is pretty much over for Phoenix. Buggies is really the only thing that BikeRush needs to build here, and he will be doing just fine. Seekers even suffer 2 gun damage, notoriously weak versus gun damage, though that can be compensated with the defense drones or the reconstruction drones BikeRush owns. On top of things here, 3 harvesters at this blue Tiberium field, but if the only thing you can build is disintegrators and your opponent has seemingly infinite ways to handle this, then it is pretty much over for you. BikeRush owns can even go for some Tib Troopers upgraded with the cybernetic legs. Those will do exceptionally well versus the Descents, and yeah, harvesters getting picked off here. Nice effort though by Phoenix in the end. It looks like he's going to do some amount of damage here. BikeRush not really on point. It did literally take Phoenix to lose that MCV to the engineer for him to lose this game. I feel that he seems to be more on point at the moment. Phoenix got more forces though streaming in. He needs to try and capture BikeRush's drone shot. BikeRush's MCV. Engineer just there hoping to grab the MCV of BikeRush owns in an attempt to get back in this game, but not to be. Not to be. One thing that Phoenix could have done though is he could have taken the spikes of BikeRush owns, and yeah, no, it wasn't really a fast engineer. It was just a sneaky engineer that Bike sent up there at the beginning of the game. I do believe. I didn't see it myself personally. The engineers are so small that you're not going to see them on the minimap. And Phoenix just, yeah, the Synth Nerve definitely causing problems here for Phoenix, considering how that's all he has. This stealth tank here is going to get caught out of position by these Seekers and the Synths. It seems like Phoenix is well onto it as well. But yeah, controlling 2 to 3 groups quite nicely. Phoenix, on top of that multitasking, going to be doing really well versus those stealth tanks. And yeah, this Tib Trooper squad will be all that Phoenix needs to, BikeRush needs to kill these disintegrators. The range is just a lot more compared to the Black Can squad, though it is considerably weaker versus vehicles. It does have uses in other areas, such as it can slow down vehicles. I intend to experiment with that particular unit for the upcoming tournament, because I feel that it has some untouched potential. But yeah, we can expect a surrender or a GG from Phoenix anytime soon, as it is pretty much over here. Tib vibrations. Try that again. Tiberium Vapor Bomb, Catalyst Missile, and yeah, it is just the normal engineer. That is it. That is all she wrote, and that is GG. So that is going to be 2-0 to BikeRush owns. Phoenix losing that game. It was a crucial game to win because now he is on match point. BikeRush just needs 1 more game to win this best of 5 series, while Phoenix needs to win 3 in a row. Which, if it does happen, it will be the best comeback I think this game has ever seen. To come back from such an odds versus such a player. So we'll go into the next game. So we're Bike on match point right now. It is up to Phoenix to win 3 in a row. We're on the map. Actually, I don't know the name of this map. I didn't bother to check, but yeah, it's going to be in the top of the map. It's going to be Phoenix as a GDI faction. These guys continuing to pick random. And in the bottom over here, we have, playing as a red faction, it's going to be BikeRush owns as the Reaper 17. So Reaper 17 versus Zocom. So Zocom versus Reaper 17 on this map here. Now there is 2 Tiberium spikes per each player. There are safe spikes. There is no contested spikes on this map. And I haven't really played it enough to know what would work and what wouldn't, but it seems like BikeRush owns looking to snatch a quick game number 3 with some disintegrators. He is Reaper 17 though, so maybe looking to use these disintegrators to potentially kill his opponent's spike, which is all the way over here, though Phoenix is going to garrison up a building over here, so he will have eyes all over the map if Descents are coming his way. He's going to be pretty informed about that. Going for the War Factory. And yeah, this is pretty much going to be a eco game from both of these guys right now. Both of the spikes getting captured by either one of these players. I think Phoenix may have been a little bit delayed there in capturing that spike. And BikeRush going to harass Phoenix in both sides. But I think Phoenix should see this coming. He should see it coming. We're going to skip to his view because it's really vital that he sees this coming. He can see them coming now. He's well aware of what's happening. But the thing is, can he react quick enough? Because these descents are going to be destroying these spikes before his APC responds, and that's all really that BikeRush needs for this to pay off, is for that spike to be destroyed. And yeah, this is pretty much going to be a dead spike for Phoenix. There is a few rifle squads here, or just one. Phoenix trying the best he can to try and hold off versus this. He needs to micro his APC away though, just so that he can escape the damage of those disintegrators. But I think he is going to lose one Tiberium spike there, unfortunately. Could have been worse for him though. He does manage to salvage one of his spikes. There is one small disintegrator left, which can be a nuisance later on. He's going to order the attack move on that disintegrator. And that's going to make Phoenix waste money on repairing that spike, because it does cost $5 a second to repair the Tiberium spike. So that will essentially cut his profits from the Tiberium spike in half. BikeRush on that 4-2. Meanwhile, we would expect Phoenix to be ahead, considering how he didn't go for like 10 descent opening. So he is ahead in this game, but he has to be further and further ahead in this game. He can't just sit back on that nice little advantage that he got there. He is on one spike also, so he is going to be behind in the long run if it does go to long into the late game, because BikeRush will be sitting on those two Tiberium spikes, which will matter more as the game progresses. But there is quite a number of Tiberium fields for you to expand to on this map. Once you've gone to this field, I'd imagine that this field is going to be fully dried, and then the action will kind of heat up in the middle of the map. But yeah, this is pretty bad for BikeRush, because he has no ability to really hold off this attack. He can't go for a panic portal because there is an APC here garrisoned with a rifle squad. Does BikeRush+ownz have an engineer up his sleeve this time? I don't think he does. He has a few disintegrators, but there is no engineer to speak of. I'd imagine that Phoenix is going to be trying his best to avoid any potential likelihood of an engineer cap on his buildings, because of course it is really annoying losing to such a strategy. And there we go, that goes down. BikeRush immediately probably going to go for a portal here, seeing that how he was able to clean up that unit. And yeah, this harvester here, I'd reckon it's worth going for. He is going to lose a lot of his pit bulls though for this kill. And oh, he's going to get it though. He doesn't pay as badly as he could have. And these pit bulls going to clean up a few of those. The disintegrator is going to clean up a few of those pit bulls. 4 pits do remain for BikeRush delayed the expansion for an eternity there. Phoenix is on 4-2 on his expansion. BikeRush has no tech to speak of on his, and he is Reaper 17. He only has gunwalkers and disintegrators to speak of. Or in Reaper 17's case, it is the Shardwalker. And I think this game does belong to Phoenix. There is probably no way he can lose this game now if he plays his cards correctly. But it is a tournament and he could be on edge. There is a few disintegrators there that he might want to take care of. There is a watchtower he has queued. He can definitely take those out with that tower. BikeRush+ownz, he needs to get his tier 2 up though, because being on tier 1 as a screen player is just simply not going to cut it versus GDI's much superior tier 1. Predator tanks and APCs are just going to make mincemeat out of this unit comp that Bike has. He needs to go for tripods. He needs to go for Devourer tanks. He needs to go for Storm Riders potentially as well. Storm Riders could be the big unit that he could build here. Though I think that Phoenix has this game under control, because he's scouting BikeRush here. Because this is somewhere where BikeRush would place gravity stabilizers. I'd imagine if I was in Phoenix's shoes, I would be expecting a few gravity stabilizers coming down, because of course that is one way you can get back into a game. Attacking into a line of photon cannon is probably not the best idea. He can just kill these gunwalkers here. And there is a lot of anti-air units coming out of Phoenix. So yeah, identifying that he is pretty much vulnerable to air, going to go for that. And this harvester is going to get poked at. Not sure if Phoenix is going to commit to killing that harvester. But yeah, this is really, I don't know how well this attack's going to go for Phoenix. I think he may be a bit wasteful here, but he has managed to penetrate in. You should be able to kill these Devourer tanks here. A lot of the APCs still do remain for for Phoenix. The disintegrators are simply not going to do the job versus all these APCs. I think Phoenix has this game. BikeRush desperately trying to cling on to this base. He may be able to though, because he has 4 Devourer tanks, and wow, somehow he does manage to hold this attack off. For a moment there I thought that he was dead, but Phoenix just going to continue to get further and further ahead in this game, going for his third base. And bike-RUsh's, what's he going to do to come back here? He has his tier 2, so I'd imagine he's probably going to go for a tier 3 and just go for tripods. His Tiberium though is rapidly depleting. Both sides have seemed to have harvested their blue Tiberium fields. Phoenix staying on top of clearing up his Tiberium as well. There is a few bits of Tiberium here and there from that dead spike. But Phoenix, what's he going to do now? Is he just going to keep spamming on one war factor? I think he is. He could probably go for the less vulnerable part of Bike's base, which is this base here, and BikeRush going for that tier 3. He's got this army here, but he can't really push out with it. It's too slow. These Devourer tanks are not as fast as Predator tanks, which is why I think Phoenix could go around the side and attack. But yeah, this Phoenix is going to scout that Bike's moving out here, so what's he going to do to handle this? Is he going to completely ignore the army of BikeRush, or is he going to go straight for the killing blow? No, it seems like he's not going to do that. Phoenix here just going to probably eco here and keep spamming that tier 1. BikeRush+ownz going for tripods, I'd imagine, right now, but one tripod is simply not going to do enough. He's very limited when it comes to his options. But Phoenix, I think he may have to attack Bike relatively soon. He needs to make something happen here, otherwise Bike will be able to get back in this game. Though Phoenix not unnecessarily wasting units. He's not giving away too much to Bike, but he is actually leaving himself wide open to this attack here. Phoenix, what are you doing? Phoenix is all out of position. He is out of position. Why is he going over here? What? Why is he over there? Oh no. Why is he out of position? What is he doing? He has a few forces that he can defend this off, but really, I don't think that was necessary in the slightest. All these harvesters getting chased by disintegrators, and yeah, this attack really didn't deserve to do anything to Phoenix. Phoenix is going to lose all of his harvesters to those disintegrators. Somehow this is working out for BikeRush. BikeRush moments ago looked like he was dead in this game, but somehow Phoenix just fell to pieces. That attack, he had that attack in his sights. He had the whole map scouted. I'm lost for words right now. Though then again, it is hard from the observer's perspective to criticize these mistakes, but still, that is just not really warranted at all. The harvesters, not sure how many of them were destroyed. It seems like most of them, because there is a heroic disintegrator squad and more of the harvesters being destroyed, and I think that is it for Phoenix. He only has 1 or 2 harvesters to speak of. Meanwhile, BikeRush's has a few tripods. Really not. I am lost for words. He completely caked this. There's no doubt about that. He was in a great position. Last game, he was in a great position as well. These games, he had won if he just played slightly better. I am not kidding. All he had to do was just play a little bit better, and he would have had these games for sure. But he's pulling back his army now. But you know, you would have thought earlier he would have been able to respond to those Devourer tanks. There's literally those Devourer tanks had to. I don't even know what to say. BikeRush just gonna push. He's gonna mass up more tripods. He needs to get some repairs up on these tripods. But yeah, he's got his economy back up and running. Phoenix has little to no economy now. He hasn't even finished this Tiberium field here. And I think that is all she wrote for Phoenix. I don't think he has anything to really stop this from slipping away further and further from him. BikeRush, you have to remember he still has those 2 Tiberium spikes. Phoenix, he is doing some little bits of damage here and there, but compared to losing 5 to 6 harvesters, I think he needs to make something happen here. Just a lot more needs to happen for Phoenix. Not sure why he's going to the left and right sides of the map. Does he feel that BikeRush has a hidden army or something? I'm not sure. Maybe the BikeRush has just got the fucking... Maybe he's nervous or something. I'm not sure. But Bike here, he's on that 2 and 7 ratio, it seems. So he's just going to happily spam out more tripods and end this game. Phoenix, he is recovering slowly, but you really have to question if he is up to the task of beating BikeRush when he is behind after he had such an advantage and wasn't able to close the game. I really felt that I called this game too quickly. I didn't expect it to slip away like this, but yeah, it's not entirely over for Phoenix just yet. I mean, there is the likelihood of BikeRush making a fatal mistake, though at the moment he's just playing defensively and camping up. Phoenix is just making mistake after mistake. He's going for infantry now, so tier 1, but versus the tier 3 Reapers player, BikeRush is just going to spam out Shard Walkers. And he's going to phase these Shard Walkers so he can crush the infantry. And I'd imagine he's going for the upgrade for his Shard Walkers, which is the attenuated force field, which he can get from his tier 2. Speaking of tier 2, he would want to get one for the Butterstorm support power as well, which he will find immensely useful versus mass infantry. But going for the infantry upgrades now, he has 4 and 2 on this field. The Tiberium is rapidly depleting. He has a lot of Tiberium, blue Tiberium up here. Identifying that and going for it, he could even pull this harvester to that field as well. But Bike just gonna camp up here in this game. He knows that he's ahead, so he's just going to. There's no need for him to push out just yet. He could get attenuated force fields. That's the only thing that you could really criticize from his play, is that he has forgot attenuated force fields. Phoenix, though, he could probably add in a few EMP grenadiers as well, assuming he already has the Tiberium field suit, so I guess he's probably going to go for that now. He needs some EMP grenades right now, otherwise I don't think he's going to be able to hold this off, especially versus fully charged tripods. bike-RUsh's not getting the conversion reserves either. It used to be bugged in 1.02, but it is not bugged in 1.02 plus, and that is going to be it for Phoenix. I don't think he has the army at all to hold this off. And it's quite a disappointment, really. Phoenix, he could have made a comeback, but not to be. The EMP Grenadier squad coming out a bit too late for him. And yeah, it's just falling all to bits for Phoenix. And I suspect he will call the GG relatively soon. More reinforcements spawning in for BikeRush+ownz. And I think Phoenix in this game will be going down. I cannot express enough how disappointed I am how he didn't win this game, because in that position he just was in complete control of the map. He had the larger army composition, but Phoenix, he was completely out of position. He went to the left and right hand side of the map, basically allowing BikeRush to penetrate into his expansion, and BikeRush attacking at the right moment. He timed that perfectly. And that's going to be a 3-0 victory to BikeRush+ownz, so congratulations to BikeRush for winning his own tournament again. And I guess Phoenix, he could have done better in that series, though it is good practice for him getting to terms, getting to grips with what it's like playing in a tournament finals. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this cast. And yeah, I did forget to save the second replay. I was meant to save all 3, but yeah, I didn't save the second one, unfortunately. And I will be posting these games on my channel. So yeah, this is Master. Stay tuned for more first-person videos and for more tournament casts. I can even cast replays if there are any that are good on the replay system, or if anyone sends me any good replays. But yeah, this is gonna be it for me. This is Master. Peace out.